Welcome to another Front Street Fight exclusive. I'm here at Ideal Spine Health Center with Casey Wildstyle Johnson. We are just 2 days away from Bellator 155 live at Centurylink Arena. And before we get to the upcoming fight, we know you spent a lot of time in Vegas. You've been here at Ideal Spine Health Center. Why don't you talk about this fight camp and some of the different things that you've been doing since we saw you last?
Yeah, last time you guys saw me, it was Front Street Fights back on February 13th. We were training out of here. Ideal Spine, they've got this wonderful little box here, a little fitness box. It's got everything you need. It's got, $30,000 pieces of power plates all around. My main training partner for that camp was Vince. I had a couple other, close-knit private guys that I was training with. My head coach at the time there was Tony Fricklin. Of course, he's gotten a big opportunity to go overseas and to head up some big MMA programming over in Saudi Arabia, believe it or not. And so we made the move. We went down to Salt Lake. We trained with Jeremy Horn down there at Elite Fitness with some of those guys for a little while. Awesome facility, awesome guys. We thought maybe we needed some more guys at our weight, so we knew that Syndicate MMA, it was a place that I had trained when it used to be called the Old Throwdown Training Center. And we had been watching their success. We seen all these guys fighting for championships. A lot of those guys were at our weight, so we decided to make the move down there. We did. It was one of the best things I think we could have done from mine and Vince's career. Excellent training camp. Excellent coaches. I've done a few interviews now talking about the coaching staff, talking about my training partners, and I just can't say enough good things about those guys. John Wood's running an excellent program out of there. Vinny Magales, awesome jiu-jitsu guy, and I think a lot of it is the atmosphere. It's one thing to train out of a gym that is trying to bring up-and-coming fighters to the next level. It's also a complete another thing to train at a gym where you've got those dudes at the highest level every day on the mat with you.
When you have those dudes, as you mentioned, at the highest level, how much more does that push you to be that much better when you're watching these guys that have made it to the top, getting to where you want to go? How much is that a motivation for you and for Vince?
Well, huge motivation. And all those guys, you wouldn't, if you didn't know them, if you didn't watch their careers, you wouldn't know that they were there, because they're super awesome guys, awesome coaches, willing to share their wealth of knowledge to us. Great. But it's also an easy way to test yourself too. When you get on the mat with one of those guys and you say, okay, your level's here and I'm doing this good, it lets you know that, hey, I might not be that far off from where you're at. You've achieved that. They've been able to achieve that success. And so it kind of gives you a good way to test your own skills every single day. Or, hey, this week went pretty well. I'm gonna try this stuff next week. It gives you an awesome way to gauge where you're at in your career.
Is it safe to say we're going to see maybe a different wild style than we've seen in the past?
Yeah, I believe every fighter in every fight, you change and you evolve. And I think if you're not, then you're probably behind the curve. That being said, you might see some different techniques and some different styles, but I'm me. A lot of people, they have a hard time when they get the microphone in their mouth or a camera in their face. They want to say what they want people to hear. I'm as real as it gets. When you're talking to me, you're getting what I'm putting forth. So
that is very true. So speaking of the talking, obviously there's not a lot of talk leading up to this fight. It's the fight that you've wanted for a while. It was a fight that was supposed to happen several months ago. You finally have Brendon Raftery. It's on a bigger stage per se with Bellator. Talk about this fight. You make no bones about what you want to do to Brendon Raftery on Friday. You said it right after your win over Matt Goff at Front Street Fights 8. It's do or die time in 2 days.
Yeah, believe me, I created a lot of hype for that first fight, and that's what sells fights, is hype. I know the position I'm in, and Brendon Raftery knows the positions he's in. We're both looking to come out of that cage with our hand raised. I believe, I'm sure as well as Brendon believes, that my hand is going to get raised, as well as he thinks that his is. But you can think what you want to think. That thought process changed when you get hit in the mouth, and that's exactly what I plan to do when we get in there. I'm going to hit him, I'm going to punch him, I'm going to kick him, because at the end of the day, this is a fist fight. That's what I'm showing up to do. Hopefully he is as well. We're going to give the crowd an awesome show. A lot of people have paid money. A lot of people have bought those tickets. They bought the tickets the first time, and they've bought those tickets this time. And it's something that I not that I like to brag about, but it's something I take very seriously. Fighting is fighting, promotion is promotion, and business is business. And I think if you're not touching all three of those things, you're cutting yourself short. You're also cutting the fans short, and you're cutting the people you're working for short. Whether it's Front Street Fights or it's Bellator, I'm trying to give those guys the best job I can do, and that's selling tickets, making sure people know about this fight, promoting, self-promotion, promoting their show. I think it's all one package. And in order to be successful and to get to that next level, like Mike Pyle, like Tom Lawler, like some of these guys that I'm on the mat with, you got to do that stuff.
Definitely. Now, at the end of the day, obviously somebody's winning, somebody's losing. We talked about last time when we did face-to-face, you had the contract with Bellator before the injury. You're now back in front of them again. Now, obviously, you have a lot to prove. There's a lot on the line for everybody. What are your hopes and thoughts and what you expect at the end of the day Friday night, besides raising your hand?
I'm hoping that Bellator, they see something in me that they possibly seen before. I know that some of the management there's changed. The guys that I was working with when I got my first contract, some of those guys aren't around anymore. But like I said, the wild style that you seen back then, the wild style you see today, that's the wild style you're going to get. I don't like to refer to myself in the third person, but that's what the fans are listening to. That's the name they're going to hear when I walk into that cage. And of course, I'm looking to come out there with my hand raised. I'm hoping that Rich Chu, some of these guys that are sitting there cage side, they're going to see something in me that maybe they want to give me a shot later on down the road. Maybe they want to offer me a contract. If not, it's put my nose back to the grindstone, continue the hard work, continue everything that has gained me the success to this point, and we'll go around for the next round, and we'll see if I can't get an opportunity either somewhere else or later on down the road.
All right, well, Casey, we appreciate your time. Best of luck Friday night. Again, it's Bellator 155 coming up in just a couple of days at Centurylink Arena. Tickets are going fast, still available. Head on right now to CenturyLinkArenaBoise.com, and we'll see you Friday night.